Well, hello, everybody, and especially you, Rob Zilla.
Hi.
Welcome to the Old Guy in the Club podcast. I am the old guy in the club. That is the slightly older guy in the club, Rob Zilla.
Hey.
And before he can make a joke about why his setup looks a little different this way, I will tell you guys his computer's not working, so he's doing this from his phone.
Yeah, the iMac decided it wanted to take an iCrap, so I'm doing a quick reset on it, which I thought was only going to take a couple of minutes, and it's taking a lot longer than I thought. So while that's happening in the background, courtesy of mobile technology, I'll be joining you from my iPhone 12, which doesn't look bad. The front-facing camera,
It looks amazing.
It's not, this looks a little weird, but other than that, it's not looking too bad. So this thing should come back in a few minutes, and then I'll switch over to the desktop, and then I can use this phone for interacting with our friends in the chat room.
So hold on.
Yeah.
So you're going to ditch me alone, and I'm going to be like right here with nobody to back me up, like while you switch?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if I can handle that, Zilla.
I'm sure you're more than qualified. You're more than capable, Justin.
I almost did it last week when you weren't going to be in on time. You were with your parents.
Yeah.
And Neil was like, "Oh, I'm going to be late too." I was like, "You know what? I'm going to do it."
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't have to.
Yeah. So last week, just to recap, I was an hour late into rejoining the show because I took my parents, who are, obviously, if I'm 46, my parents are older. And they both got their first vaccines. And I'm happy to tell you that a week later, they had zero side effects. Granted, the first one is supposed to be the easy one. The second one is supposed to be the one that's just a little bit more rough. But other than a sore arm, and, speaking to my dad, he's like, it's basically like what you get when you get a tetanus shot or any other type of, booster. It really wasn't much of much. And, that's that. So we'll, at the end of the month, that's when they have their second one, and I'll report back on the findings from there.
When do you do you get pushed up the list because you're missing a lung, or are you stuck with the rest of us?
I am tier 1C. So right now they're doing tier 1B. I am in the next tier. But you and I talked about this. I've got the room, more old guy shit. So I'm on a specific set of medications that don't really mix well with vaccines. So luckily I'm on the backside of these. We're tapering off over the next 2 weeks, and then we're going to give my immune system about a month to build back up. I'll take the vaccine, we'll wait 6 weeks, take the vaccine, wait another month, and then start the meds all over again, give myself a little bit of a window. But vaccines and immunosuppressants do not play well in the sandbox, friends. Not a good idea.
Okay. I am like, I haven't really thought about the vaccine for like myself too much, other than like, whatever. It's, if I get the thing, if I get the virus, it's not really, look, it's killing people obviously, but in very small numbers, right?
Sure.
Okay. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm tired today. But, with now we've been getting these vaccines for like a month, right? And, I've seen like 3 people post something about people dying, and it's from like some ridiculous website that someone created. And,
right.
Woman takes vaccine, dies 12 minutes later. It's like, oh, okay. She probably got hit by a bus. And like, that's what the headline says. But I woke up in the middle of the night 2 nights ago, and I thought I was like sick, like flu or something. And I just felt like shit. Looking back, it's probably because I had a very unhealthy dinner. That would be my guess.
Did you have a chili cheese dog before you went to bed?
I didn't have a chili cheese dog, but it was probably something not much better than that. But I woke up in the middle of the night. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, of course, your first thought is like, oh, I got the COVID.
I got
and
the
it's
Rona.
like, yeah, it's like at this point, I'm like, just give me the vaccine. Like, let me get over this, so I don't have to worry about that shit anymore.
I don't know if I should be putting this out there, but my sister, who is a frequent guest of the show, now she and I actually share the same primary care doctor through our health plan. And I won't go into the whole specifics, but she had legitimate questions because Jen is, for all intents and purposes, a very healthy person, right? Like, and so she asked, like, well, with my parents being older and Rob and his medical condition, should I get the vaccine? And they had a heartfelt, conversation about it. And I'll summarize this, where her doctor said, well, look, you don't put your seatbelt on when you get in behind the wheel of a car in anticipation of getting into a wreck. That's not why you put your seatbelt on.
Right.
You put your seatbelt on so that if unfortunately you do find yourself in a wreck, that seatbelt offers you a level of protection, a layer of protection that you otherwise might not be afforded without it. And I thought that was actually the most rational and easiest to digest way of explaining why vaccinations can and should work, why people should consider them. I'm not telling you what they could do or should do, but coming straight from a medical professional that doesn't have a website, doesn't post YouTube videos.
Would you like to hear what, and you know who this is, but you can't say it on national TV, I guess. Would you like to know what my medical professional told me?
Sure.
You know who I'm talking about?
Probably.
I texted him this morning. I said, where them black market vaccines at? He says, come to my house. I'll stick something in you.
Oh, nice.
And then he says, I call that the back market vaccine.
That's pretty aggressive.
This is my, I joke around, my personal physician. He's a very good friend of ours, but he's who I go to all the time for my medical.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, he's the best. I mean, I was kind of joking, but not really. I was really asking him, like, how do I get this vaccine?
Well, you want to know how people are doing it. So there are ways that people are jumping the line. Now, some people are doing it very unethically, right?
I would never do that. You know that. I would never do that.
So one of the things that popped up in my news feed, and she's apologized for it, is a woman went down to one of the super sites and presented herself as an educator until it came to light that she actually teaches spin classes at SoulCycle.
Come on.
That's not the educator that, like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You're helping.
That's amazing.
Your health, and that's great. But what I'm suggesting is that, being a SoulCycle instructor, I think that was meant for teachers like in elementary, middle, and high schools,
I would think so.
College professors and such.
Yeah, considering like half my family are teachers and got COVID like around Christmas time.
Right? So there was that. Let's see, what else? Oh, wait, hold on. Justin, do you see what I see?
What the hell is going on right now? What am
there? Now fix that.
What is happening?
Bring me into the other screen. There we go.
Oh God, what do I take you off the other? What is happening?
All right, let me click this off. Hi. All right.
Hello, you sound so much better.
It's going to get even better.
Wow.
So back what I was talking about. So there are folks that are finding ways to kind of skip the lines, and one of the ways that folks are doing it is actually to volunteer at the sites, which isn't necessary. Like, I think that if you're going to do that and help people out, that's not a bad thing. Like, I think that's an acceptable way. Whoa, let's get this lighting right.
That's totally fine. That's like the guy that, works at the golf course one day a week so he can play golf for free. I have no problem with that.
Totally agree.
Or the lifty that works the lift line at the ski resort so he can ski for free. Yeah, you deserve it.
Oh, they're called lifties?
Yeah.
What do I know?
You don't ski?
Bro, I don't ski. No.
Actually, if this is like a Middle Eastern thing where you would say Middle Easterners do not ski,
No, that has
said
nothing to do
physician
with it.
from 10
large,
minutes ago
I'm large
is a
and
skier.
fat, and falling down the side of a
Well,
mountain
so am I.
is probably not in my best interests.
Oh boy.
Let me move my AirPods over here. Are you able to hear me so far?
I hear you perfectly great.
Good, because I can't hear you at all.
That's great for you.
These.
Everyone else wishes they had it so good.
Oh, I think we got it now.
Testing.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2,
Oh,
3.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So the other thing is that when they're defrosting, so San Diego has, like many municipalities, our super center, the one of the major injection sites is over at Petco Park in one of the parking lots right next door. So we know that the vaccines need to be transported super cold and then need to be thawed. Well, if some people don't no-show, they're thawing enough vaccines for people, but sometimes people no-show. So there's like a single rider line like they do at the theme parks. You know, people are standing in line, and should they have more vaccines and they don't have enough people, they don't want these, they can't use them, and it would be unethical to throw them away. So lo and behold, people are able to take a jump in the line without doing it at the expense of other people. So I respect.
Yeah, and I'm all for that. Like, if things are going to go to waste, you should get it if you want.
Claudia Velasquez in our chat room says, "Shame on her." Sorry, the instructor that jumped in front of other people. Home Slice Jesus says, "Don't take the vaccine. The vaccine will kill you." Homeboy Doug, is that Paul Heyman? Do you know who Paul Heyman is, Justin?
I do not.
He's a wrestling personality, for a professional wrestling personality. We're seeing a whole lot of new people here.
Yeah,
in the chat
I wonder
room.
why. I didn't think anyone new would ever come into this thing.
I know, right? Home Slice Jesus, I'm going to tell you, bro. Based on the medical professionals that I do speak to, the vaccine ain't killing anybody. Just so that you know. Shane Fernandez in the chat room wants to know, does the vaccine cure baldness? I sure hope it does. That nothing would make me happier. Nothing would make me happier than to have I would love to have some flowing locks. As a matter of fact, the gentleman to my right, the one and only Justin Zotz, talk about flowing locks. You should take a look at his I haven't had a haircut in 6 weeks due. Go ahead, rip off the dad hat, bro.
I can do that. And Home Slice Jesus had to go. We had to. That was enough for him. So this is what I got going here. What do you think?
I think you should grow it out. I think you're in that weird transitional period where you either have to cut it or let it grow.
Yeah.
I'm saying let it grow.
Yeah, but I'm like bald back here, so it looks a little weird. Like I'm kind of
when this catches up, it would be like a comb over, but not really.
I mean, if I could get like a you're the only one here that'll understand this, the Andy Hirsch from 2008 going.
Oh yeah. Oh,
that would be like, that'd be amazing.
Absolutely.
But,
do you mind if I say hello to some of our friends in the chat room? Our friends.
Absolutely. I mean, before you do that, which we should have done that 10 minutes ago, we haven't even told the chat.
I couldn't see the chat room before I was on my phone.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's why.
We Neil is not with us yet. He will be here. I don't know what he's doing. Probably, but he never leaves his house, so I don't know what he could possibly be doing. But anyway,
hopefully
he'll be with us eventually. So Zilla, take it away.
It is the Old Guy in the Club podcast. As Justin said, he is the old guy. My name is Rob Zilla. Our third amigo, Neil Jackson, will be joining us shortly. Just want to say hi to all of our friends who make the pilgrimage each and every Friday, 5 p.m. as we do this show live on twitch.tv. So if I miss you, I apologize. But Claudia, Jay Sean, Glenda, Lisa, let's see, homeboy Doug.
Irene.
Who else am I missing? Irene.
Jay Sean.
I did say hello. So, hey, guys, glad to have you all here. Thanks for making us a part of your week. And thanks for making our show just that much better. That's it. That's what I got.
You're the best. You are the best. I got a couple things on the list today to talk about. Nothing too crazy. Nothing that I would like dying all week to talk about.
Sure.
At all. No, seriously.
Okay.
So one thing that just popped up on my feed a few minutes ago was the trailer for Coming to America, Part 2.
Yes.
I cannot wait. And I am so anxious that it's going to be a letdown because they always are. And that is one of, I mean, it's 1,000% in my top 10 of movies of all time. The original Coming to America.
Yeah.
It's so good. And I just don't want it to be bad. The second one.
I'm going to tell you what. It's been so long since I've been into a movie theater, over a year. I don't think it can be bad. I mean, and no matter what, it's still going to be a welcome. Like, look at the cast of characters, right? They're all people that we essentially grew up with. It's a story that, apparently Eddie Murphy's character, Prince Hakeem, might have sown his royal oats in America after all before meeting Lisa. I'm not giving any spoilers away. This is all in the trailer.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, you didn't watch the trailer?
No, I didn't even watch it. Should we put it on?
I mean, are we allowed?
I don't know.
Let's do it. Well,
let me find it.
It would normally be Neil. It would normally be Neil, but Neil's not here. So fuck it. Let's just do it. So, the movie was made. The movie was primed to go into theaters, and it was scheduled for release, I think, back at Christmas and even before then. And then Amazon bought the rights from Paramount. And I think Amazon is using this as a huge move to, up their subscriber count, which, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, remember when you just used to have a Netflix account and that was your $15 a month or whatever it was? And now, and you did that to get away from the cable company. And now you've got your Netflix, your Hulu, your Peacock, like everybody's got a streaming, CBS All Access, this, that, whatever. It's just as expensive. HBO Max. It's just really as expensive, if not more expensive than the cable company that you left to save money. So
yeah, it's so ridiculous.
There was like Quibbly and Tubi. There's a Verge. There's so many different streaming services out there.
I pay for like YouTube TV, which I love. It's great. And then I have HBO and Stars and Showtime. It's like $80 still. It's so dumb. Does everyone want to watch this trailer? I mean, I haven't watched it, so I'd love to.
I mean, it's 2 minutes. Run with it. We'll be back in 2 and 2. Sit tight. Watch this.
All right, let's do this.
What you doing back here? Say it again, you feel right in his... I've just discovered that I may have a son here in this land. How much child support is she getting from? The king pays no child support. No child support for 30 years and you came back? You was a dummy. Hello, I am Hakeem Joffer, king of Zamunda. You are the heir to the throne. Yes, my son. He's supposed to be like the prince of Wakanda. Wakanda is a fictional place. Not to everybody. Zamunda is a very... I don't need no handout. Wait a minute. All right, I'm gonna pack. Okay.
Presenting King Akeem's son from America.
And my mom's.
And his mom's.
Children, this is your brother.
Hey, Quine. I'm sorry I slept with your man.
This happened before we even met.
It's not like you're the first man I've ever been with.
What did you just say about the other men?
Coming to me.
I always thought that Mika was going to be queen.
A woman isn't allowed to rule Zamunda. It's the law.
Did it ever occur to you that Mika wanted to be your heir?
Don't you dare banish me from my own bedroom.
How you doing, Hakeem?
I'm getting it from everywhere. I have upset my family.
You must be strong.
And General Izzy would love nothing more than to take over Zamunda.
Raise it higher.
I'm a king.
Put your hands together.
I like that.
Say it again.
Give me all. It's party over here.
I must admit, your style is foreign to my kingdom, but it's impressive.
That's right. There you go. Let me hear you say, hey, ho.
Hey, ho.
No, don't do that. That's your mother.
Oh, don't you say it.
No, not to his mother.
I'm a king.
Almost ready to become a prince.
Almost.
It is time.
Ceremonial circumcision.
Bring forward the royal machete.
They're going to sharpen your tool, nephew.
Coming to America, now it's coming to me. I'm a king.
All right, I'm into that.
We're less than a month away.
I can't wait.
I mean, so let me ask you a question, Justin. I mean, isn't it? I talk about nostalgia on this show a lot. Tell me, seeing all of those characters now didn't spark just a little bit of nostalgia. I mean, because what did that original come out? 88. So we were 14 years old.
Wow, was it really that long ago?
I think. I mean, maybe. Okay, let's just call it 1990.
That's crazy. I just had an idea.
Shoot.
Now would be the perfect time for them to remake one of my other favorite movies from right around that time. Could you imagine if they did a sequel to Trading Places with what just happened in the stock market?
I was thinking about that exact same thing the other day.
Really?
Well, it's like I actually thought about how the plot would go. So it's like Randolph and Mortimer Duke are dead. Louis and so they've bankrupted Duke and Duke.
Yeah.
Louis and Billy Ray Valentine are living the good life. Where do they go from there? Maybe they have kids. Maybe their kids are options traders and they got to go in and save them from, I don't know, but it's totally doable.
Did I ever tell you the Trading Places story? Funny story from the movie. So, and I didn't wait for your answer, but I'm just going to go into my story because I don't think I ever told you this. So you know the scene after he gets the money and he goes into the bar and he's throwing the money around?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that scene, I think it takes place in Philadelphia, right? The movie. But
It's set in Philly. Yeah.
Right. That scene was filmed in my college bar in New York City.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
So when the owner of the bar got approached for them to film in there, he's like this old, like crotchety Irish dude, right? And they said, hey, there's this new, this kind of up and coming actor. He has this movie coming out. His name's Eddie Murphy. We would love to film a scene in your bar.
I think I know where this is going.
He agrees, thinking that Eddie Murphy is,
a good Irish boy,
white Irish boy. They allow them to film the scene, except when everyone shows up, it is not there. I don't think there's any white people in that scene, right?
No,
except for Coleman waiting outside by the car.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was he was not happy. Mr. Cannon, the bar was called Cannon's Pub. Mr. Cannon was not happy.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So the 90s.
It's a great movie.
That had to be early. Nope, that was before I got to school. So it had happened before that, but I was there in the early 90s.
Hold on. Now I'm going to look up a couple of things. So Trading Places.
But Trading Places is that's just, I think I like that better than Coming to America.
I'm a believer. People argue with me on this, but I say Trading Places is a Christmas movie. Trading Places was released on June 8th, 1983.
Okay.
And Coming to America
was 88. Yeah, someone wrote it in the chat earlier.
I mean, and there is a crossover between those two movies because there's the scene where Eddie Murphy's walking, along the waterfront.
Yep.
And puts the bag of money, and it turns out to be Randolph and Mortimer Duke.
Yeah.
Randolph, we're back.
Oh,
I think I'm
maybe that could be part of the plot for the Trading Places sequel.
Except for that
where they do come back. Well, no. But then they have kids, and the kids turn
use
into
the money.
them, and then Winthorpe and Valentine go and they do the same thing that they did to the parents to the kids.
Yeah.
With GameStop.
I like that. Lisa S. in the chat room says, remember the gorillas on the train? Fun fact, one of the handlers of the gorillas actually grew up to be former Minnesota Senator Al Franken.
That is correct.
There's a lot of people grew up from that movie, grew up to do great things. And I mean, how awesome is Jamie Lee Curtis in that movie?
Amazing.
Yeah, that movie just works on. The only thing that doesn't work for me, I thought about it when I was watching it the other night, which is how many companies actually have their company Christmas party on Christmas Eve? Like, this is my same thing with the Die Hard dilemma. Why are you at work with your coworkers and not with your families on Christmas Eve? This is just silly. Have the Christmas party on the 20th. Leave your employees alone.
Well, for Die Hard, didn't they just close a big deal and they were celebrating?
Perhaps. I don't know.
That I think I can answer that one. But yeah, the other one I can't. Trading Places I can't.
I wonder what Randy Watson has been doing for the last 30 years. I mean, I know that he was in, the What's Happening episode of That's My Mama. But I mean, after that, what's Randy been up to? Has he just been fronting sexual chocolate on the touring, circuit for the last 30 years? I want to know.
I would like to represent them.
Honestly, if you don't sign them to white label, you're not doing your job right.
Okay, so Neil's not here, which who cares?
Right.
Where's Jenna?
Oh, yeah. We are modestless.
This is I banned someone already.
I know. I saw it. It was fast. Be proud
Well,
of yourself.
I was gonna let him, I gave him some rope. And
Claudia says she's driving.
Oh, okay. So
Listen,
Zilla, yeah.
I was gonna say, she's been our faithful modest week in and week out. She's allowed to miss a day. We'll survive.
I mean, I've missed, I think, 2 days, 1 or 2.
Whatever. Nobody's counting.
Who are you rooting for Sunday, Zilla? Who do you got?
The commercials.
And chat. Who are you guys rooting for in the Super Bowl? Chat.
Wait. Justin, really quick.
Yeah.
When Jenna does come into the chat room, because I guess it's her birthday weekend, as Irene just and Claudia both let us know. So we definitely got to shout her out and show her some love. Whatever we do, whatever we're in the middle of, we should just hit the brakes, wish her a huge happy birthday, and then just pick up from there. Okay.
Okay.
To answer your question,
doable.
I am rooting for chicken wings, snacks, sandwiches, sliders, nachos.
But you
I
own a restaurant. You can have this stuff every day of your life if you wanted to.
Yeah, I have no skin in this game whatsoever. Ever since the Chargers left San Diego, I'm not the active NFL viewer that I was. I just it's hard for me to care. Who I'm rooting for next season? Your Jets. You want to know why?
What do you mean, my Jets?
I don't know. Well, because they're from your part of the world.
Are
you a
brother's
Giants fan?
Jets. My dad's
Okay.
Jets. I don't like either of them.
Fair enough. So I'm rooting for the Zotz family Jets because they hired a Lebanese guy as their head coach.
Really?
Yeah, first one in the NFL ever. I mean, how's that for rationalizing a horrible decision?
Why is it a horrible decision? I would assume he's a good coach.
No, what I'm saying is me rationalizing following the Jets, which is a horrible decision to be a fan of the Jets, who went 1-15 this season or something.
Every season?
Or yeah,
they can't even lose the right way.
Yeah.
They were supposed to go 0-16 so they get the first pick. And then they came back to win this game. I don't really follow football too much. Didn't they come back to win a ridiculous game that they should never have won? How do I?
Perhaps.
Claudia, I'm guessing that's like a happy birthday thing we can do. Is that correct?
Well, I will tell you while you're figuring that out with Claudia that there's just I don't know. I think that there's something to be said for this game, which is, Tom Brady, who is arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the history in the NFL. I'm not going to get into the debate if he is but it's hard to find better. And one of the future rising stars in Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I think that if we get the, ball in the air kind of shootout that people are kind of hoping for in this Super Bowl, great, perfect. But if it just seems to be, a grinded out ground game, kind of one of those things,
let me tell you something.
Boring.
Anybody that doesn't say he's the best is just insane in my mind. Colin Cowherd, who I normally agree with him on most things, said the craziest thing when he said it. And then you think about it and you're like, oh, okay. He said, Tom Brady is not the greatest quarterback of all time. He's the greatest two quarterbacks of all time.
Explain that to me.
He's been to the Super Bowl 10 times. 10. Right. That's insane.
And the first one to do it playing for two different teams in two different leagues. Like he has AFC championships and NFC championships. I don't think anybody else has done that, right?
I mean, like, take half of his career and you could argue he's the greatest of all time.
Well, I mean, the argument was, and it was brought up in the chat room that, it's like, okay, well, it wasn't just him. It was Belichick's system. It was the personnel around him. But this year proved the point that you could remove him from that and he will still perform. And let's just bring up this fact. He's as old. He could have went to high school with both of us. Like, he's only 4 years. What is he? 43, 41,
43.
So, he would have been a sophomore the year I was a senior.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's hard to argue whether or not, like, the guy's a future Hall of Famer. He's the prototypical quarterback. I mean, he lives, eats, drinks, sleeps the game. I mean, his routines, his prep routines are like extraordinary.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hate to admit it. I hate to admit it, but Brady's the man.
I think the Chiefs are going to win. I would like to see the Buccaneers win.
Right.
That's kind of my thoughts on it, because I would love to see Brady get another one, just because I like seeing like the greatest of all time at something do their thing. I'd love to see LeBron win 3 more championships.
Yeah. Why not? Like, I want to be able to say that, like, the cool thing about it is whether or not you love Tom Brady or hate Tom Brady, this is happening in our lifetime, right? Like, so when I was a kid growing up and I would read about Babe Ruth, or Roberto Clemente in the baseball worlds. I almost said baseball worlds in the baseball worlds, like, you would have the theater of the mind and you'd have to imagine their greatness. And now you see an athlete like Tom Brady. We got to live with Kobe. We got to live with Brady. We got to live with LeBron. We get to live with LeBron, Magic, Michael Jordan. Like, all of these superior athletes are all existing and performing within our lifetimes. And I think it's something to be celebrated, because our kids and their kids are going to look back on the history books and say, these were some of the best to ever do it.
Hey, Claudia, to answer your question, and Claudia put in the chat, she's not a football person, but has any other quarterback gone to the Super Bowl 10 times? The most appearances by any player, forget quarterback, by any player in the history of the NFL is 6. 6. This is Brady's 10th appearance. Brady is number 1 with 10. The next person has 6 appearances.
Do you think they have like NFL punch cards like they do, like back at, like they did at Starbucks when they were first starting up, like, your 10th coffee free. So when you get to your 10th Super Bowl, like, you get an extra trophy, or, you get to, I don't know. Is there like some sort of reward system?
I don't believe there is.
I mean, 10 is just an exorbitant. So imagine, right? Like, there's some kid right now dreaming about one day playing not only playing in the NFL, but growing and making it to the Super Bowl. And here's Tom Brady. I'm at number 10, and I've won 6.
And if you want to talk about quarterbacks specifically, John Elway went to 5.
Right.
That's Brady's double that.
Well, I mean, but Mahomes is taking his team back to back 2 years in a row. So
Mahomes is incredible. He is. I mean, he's going to be the next. He's the best player in the NFL. Yeah,
he's the next Tom Brady.
But let's say Brady wins right this weekend, and I would love to see it. I don't think it's going to happen. But let's say he wins. That means he's won 7 of them. Been there 10 times. He's not retiring. He's not retiring. He can go a couple more times.
Has he said that he's not retiring? I don't know.
He said that he feels that he can easily play beyond 45. But let's say, for argument's sake, he wins. That's 7 out of 10. Mahomes could have the most incredible career ever and win 3.
Right. And it would still be 2.5 times as much.
I am, I've never I've liked Tom Brady. I think he's incredible. I'm not like the hugest fan. I just appreciate what he's done. I mean, it's unbelievable to me.
He's really something else. But like I said, I don't have a whole lot of skin in the game. I think it's interesting that for the first time in NFL history, a team is playing in their home stadium. I think that's something to watch. I'm actually interested in commercials because I'm an advertising nerd. Of course, the snacks, which I think I want to circle back to this in a minute because I want to know what's on your menu, Justin. But also the performances. I'm a big fan of The Weeknd. I think that I'm looking forward. The Weeknd just announced a nationwide tour for 2022, actually a world tour. And so this is kind of set that up. So, there's lots of other things just outside of football. I'm also very excited at the fact that, there's Joe Buck will be nowhere near calling this game. So
yeah, I hate that guy.
Fuck Joe Buck.
So Claudia, you want to hear a crazy stat also. Claudia wrote in the chat, what age does a quarterback usually retire? I Googled, he's 43, so I'm sure that is super old for a quarterback.
It is.
The average player in the NFL, the average career is 3.5 years.
And
he's been doing it for 20.
Yeah, I was going to say they usually enter the league anywhere between 21 and 23.
It's incredible.
I mean, incredible. I'm 46. I'm 46. I'm not that much older than him. And there are days where getting out of bed and walking to the kitchen, I might want to see a chiropractor to kind of work out those kinks. And this guy is getting chased down by 400-pound monsters that are at the peak of their athletic prime and outrunning them.
And the craziest thing about Brady, he's not a physical freak at all. I mean, he is, but he's not. He's not like a shredded dude. I don't know if you guys know who Shannon Sharp is. Shannon Sharp's 55 years old. The guy has 6% body fat. He's a monster. But all players, Jay Sean, the average for a player in the NFL career is 3.5 years. And that obviously includes quarterbacks. That's for all players, though. So, he's just a thinking quarterback at this point. But anyway, I mean, what's on my menu? Did you ask me that a minute ago? Oh,
well,
so
I was going to circle over to that. I'm like, so do you guys have, what are your plans for the Super Bowl? Because, it is a different kind of year. I don't know. I was curious, and this goes to the chat room as well. We'd love to showcase what some of you guys are doing for the game. But Justin, you kick us off. What are you doing?
Well, I am going to be watching the game at my house with my 2 kids.
Okay.
One of them is rooting for the Bucks. One of them is rooting for the Chiefs.
Oh God, that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I am rooting for the Bucks. I will not be mad if the Chiefs win. This little human.
Well, we figured out which kids got which team.
Yes. So.
Bucks.
Oh, hey, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
I guess you're sitting on my lap. So Tim is rooting for the Bucks. And I am going to go to the store and I'm going to get some food for us. I would think, obviously, there'll be some chips, maybe a dip.
Okay.
I will probably, I'll probably grab like a loaf of Italian bread and some cold cuts. That's a New York thing, what I just said. So some lunch meat, was most of America would say. A baguette and some lunch meat.
Is proper. Okay.
Okay. No, I know that. I know you know that, but most people are like, "What the fuck's cold cuts?"
Who's Claudia?
Claudia is someone that comes and watches our show every week. Claudia, Tim was just asking who you are, so he's waving now. He's reading the chat on the side.
And Timmy, there is actually a question in the chat room for you.
He can't hear you.
Well, I'm telling you, Dad, so that you can tell him. Which is, what is your favorite Super Bowl snack, Tim?
Yeah, Pringles. He just said Pringles.
All right.
I'm not mad at Pringles.
I listen. Once you pop, you can't stop. You know, I always get the fever for the flavor of a Pringles.
Well, we have a very special person that has just joined our chat, and that is Jenna 2882. Timmy, would you like to say happy birthday to Jenna?
Happy birthday.
Happy
birthday for Jenna.
It's her birthday weekend. So it's not only a Super Bowl, but a super weekend, a super birthday weekend for Jenna. Happy birthday. We miss you. Justin actually had to 86 somebody in your absence. He wielded the sword of power and bounced them out of the chat room. But we're so glad. We're so glad that you're here, and happy birthday and many, many more.
It was so nice to have that power. I might not give it up.
Right? So let's go back to the Super Bowl menu. I have a question regarding dips. I am a chip and dip aficionado, but my favorite dip might be the most simple of all dips in the world. I have two favorites.
Cut it up.
One, the Lipton soup in
There's nothing better. There's nothing better. Zero. Nothing.
Lipton soup in the vat of sour cream is dip numero uno in my book.
It's number 1 and 1A.
Yeah. And right behind it is a good old fashioned, like a 5 or 7 layer dip that's got the beans, the cheese, the lettuce, the tomatoes, the sour cream, the olives. That, you know, like those are my two go-tos.
That does nothing for me. Oh no. And you've been to my house for
something
parties of some kind. I always have that
social gathering.
That French onion dip in the it's at every event.
You know, my preferred method are either with tortilla chips or Ruffles.
It has to be Ruffles.
Like Ruffles has that right amount of salt and the right amount of crunch that when you're just scooping it,
and they don't break like a Lay's.
No, that's exactly, like Lay's is just a flimsy. It's a silly chip.
Yeah,
I don't even know why people even bother with that nonsense.
Irene is eating Pringles right now, apparently. What is your favorite Pringles flavor?
Oh, I like the sour cream and onion. I'm a green can kind of guy.
Me too. I'm a sour cream and onion guy.
I was actually go ahead.
Barbecue's not bad either.
I never had it. I'm going to tell you. I was in Spain a couple of years ago, just in Barcelona, and there was an actual Barcelona. I'm not that bouge, bro. So I'm
dude, you were on a fucking 150-foot yacht. Don't say you're not that bouge. You're not going to get away with that.
A, it's not mine, and B, I was an invited guest. So the point being is, in Barcelona, like I guess Pringles are so popular that the stores, there's one store that had its own section just dedicated to Pringles. I mean, like they had flavors that you couldn't even imagine. But then I actually walked by a store that was nothing but Pringles. I mean, flavors like you couldn't imagine. Like you know, like one of the big popular Spanish foods is the jamon croquette, right? You know, like the ham and cheese,
yes,
fried in a potato. So imagine that flavor profile in a Pringle. I might have killed a box of those or a tube of those. I might have, and then, but the best one that I had that's out there is paprika, the sweet Hungarian paprika.
Yeah,
you don't
I would
find
think you
those
would
here in
like
the
that.
States.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I was down on the Jersey Shore with my family for like, you know, my dad rents a house down there every year, and we typically, like, the whole family will go out, like all my like siblings, kids, everything. So me and my dad go to the store to pick up a bunch of stuff, and we get to like we're now at the front in line with, you know, 2 carts full of food, and on like one of the end caps, they had a display. And I think it was Lay's. I'm not 100% sure on the brand, but I think it was Lay's. But the flavor was dill pickle.
Oh, good. Hell yeah.
Oh God. Well, apparently most people don't think that way because they were like on sale. You get like 4 bags for like $1, right? Because no one's buying them. So I go to my dad. I go, oh my God, dill pickle. Like, is there anything that you could think of that would be more freaking disgusting like that? Who would eat that? And as I'm telling this to my dad, the person in front of us has a cart full of them. And she turns around and hears me saying this. And yeah, that was me sticking my foot in my mouth, as I tend to do.
It was like that scene in Caddyshack. You know, it's like, looks like kind of hat. You got a free ball.
Looks good on you, though.
Well, it looks good on you.
Oh.
Yeah, not angry at the whole dill pickle thing, but okay. So let's go back over this. So you're doing the dip.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do sandwiches, and I like to. I love a good turkey sandwich.
I know.
Look, I know how lowbrow American cheese is. I am fully aware. Not craft
There's
singles,
nothing wrong,
but like
there's nothing wrong with American cheese.
I like American cheese in a few instances. I think it's great on a burger.
It's amazing on a grilled cheese sandwich.
Grilled cheese, in an omelet, it just melts so perfectly. I don't want like fancy cheese in an omelet. I want American cheese. If they don't have it, I'm not getting an omelet. And then I like American cheese on a turkey sandwich.
Sure.
With mayonnaise.
Do you do the white American or the yellow American?
I do yellow, but
okay,
that is not what I'm going to be buying this week. What I like to do when I make stuff at home, there's a sandwich at Subway, of all places, which I don't really go to Subway very often, although I did go this week, called the Spicy Italian.
Okay.
And it is salami, pepperoni, and, you know, cheese. So I do the white American on that.
Okay.
And I make my own homemade one. So I do that, and then I put like olive and oil, red wine vinegar and olive oil, oregano, salt, pepper, black olive. Oh man, I make a good homemade like spicy Italian.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of my go-to. And then maybe I'll do, like, I have some in the freezer right now. I have like these little pretzel bites, like super pretzel bites that like in the freezer just for whatever. Maybe I'll throw them in. But I'm not going to cook or anything because it's just me and them, and they don't want it. I don't know what they're going to eat. That's what I'm going to eat.
So I'm a Costco aficionado, and so I asked, you know, the roommates, aka my parents, like, look, next time you're there, do me a favor and pick up they have their wings, the Foster Farms frozen wings. I got to tell you that these things in the air fryer.
You love your air fryer. You love the air fryer.
The air fryer is the most used appliance in my house. I put that on. It like everything works in that. But yeah, so I think we're going to do some chicken wings. I might fire up the Blackstone. Jay-Chan was like, whiz on a cheesesteak, can't go wrong. And now I'm inspired to make cheesesteaks.
I love cheesesteaks. And I made, did you make any cheesesteaks on the Blackstone yet?
Oh yeah. I made fried rice the other night. It's fucking great.
Oh, I haven't used mine since we moved to Arizona.
If you guys aren't familiar with the Blackstone, the Blackstone is basically a household application of your short order diner flat top. So Justin has one, I have one, and I like to make burgers. Like if I'm making burgers, if I'm making steaks, if I'm doing anything, it's going out on the flat top, and it's a lot of fun.
I got to clean mine up. It's been sitting outside for a while. I gotta clean it up, get it reseasoned, and start cooking again.
Might as well, right? It's a great tool, and
Oh, it's the best.
I made
So
breakfast.
easy.
I made breakfast on it the other day. I just, like we were all at home, and I'm like, "Who wants scrambled eggs?" Everybody, great. Whack, 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 whack. Poured the whole thing out. Flip, flip, flip. Everybody had eggs in 4 seconds flat. It's great.
Yep,
Love
it is the best. The best.
Back to the air fryer. Claudia's saying, I discovered the air fryer this week. How have I lived this long without one? I will tell you that the most dangerous combination are Costco and an air fryer, followed by Trader Joe's and an air fryer. The amount of stuff that you could buy, a couple weeks back, picked up these buffalo chicken bites. And these buffalo chicken bites are basically, it's buffalo chicken and cream cheese wrapped in like a phyllo triangle. So think of it like a little spanakopita, but it's filled with buffalo chicken and cream cheese. So top 5 appetizers I've ever had out of a Trader Joe's.
Can I ask you a question?
Shoot.
You know me, right? If I tend to just, if I don't understand it, I just push it away, right?
Sure.
What's the difference between cooking it in an oven or in the air fryer?
So I'm going to let you finish your questions.
Yeah. And no, it's fine. I interrupt you all day long. So the air fryer, if I put a wing in a fryer later, I know what it's going to come out like. Right. If I put it in the air fryer, does it come out the same way? And is it way more healthy?
So I'm going to answer because there's a whole bunch of questions. So Let me start with this. An air fryer is just really good branding for a countertop convection oven.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I think that answers like question 1, like what's the difference between that and an oven? Well, you don't have to wait for it for 45 minutes to preheat. So it comes to temperature really quick, and it's a much smaller cavity. Do things come out the same? Nothing will ever, like if you're making chicken wings or if you're making chicken tenders, it's not going to be the same texture as being deep fat fried. But Justin, it's darn close.
Okay.
Especially like if you're picking up things like now, things are being formulated for the air fryer. You go to your local Costco and you're looking at the chicken wings or whatever, and it's saying the instructions will read, well, if you're cooking it in your conventional oven, do it like this, and if you're doing it in a deep fat fryer, do it like this, and if you're putting it in your air fryer, do it like this. So things are kind of being, they're giving you instructions for it. It's good, and it's like the amount of cleanup is negligible next to, like, I'm just a fan. I have a thing of Ore-Ida crinkle cuts in the freezer, and it's like I feel like fries. I'm not trying to pour out oil or ruin a sheet pan.
So you want a little bowl of French fries, right?
Right.
From the time you open your refrigerator, when are you putting the first one in your mouth? How long?
12 minutes.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
So I have this the fryer that I have is the Ninja Foodie Grill. So it's a fryer and a grill, which, by the way, I've made some of the best steaks in my life on this thing. So that it's got a basket. I hit the air fryer button. It has multiple modes. Set it to 400 degrees. Walk over to the freezer. Portion out what I want. It comes pretty much to temperature in maybe 2 minutes.
No way. Really?
Yeah. It's because it's such amazing. It's such a small space, right? It's like you're not trying to heat up an oven that's 3 feet wide and 2 feet high. It's 4 to 6 quarts. So
hey, Jay Sean in the chat, he just put something up here and it says, you want to read this, Zilla? Because I have a question.
If anyone watches Chef Steps on YouTube, there's a full breakdown on why deep frying chicken versus air frying chicken yields a different texture. It's a culinary nerd awesomeness. And Jay Sean is absolutely right. The texture is different.
Okay. I am big on texture.
But for me, like, okay, if you were going to do your own chicken, let's say, like if you were going to do your own chicken from scratch and you're making fried chicken, I'm not going to, don't do it in an air fryer. But let's say you went and visited the Colonel last night and all of a sudden you're looking at a breast and a wing for lunch the next day and you're thinking, how am I bringing this sucker back to temperature? You could throw it in the microwave. That's going to suck. Or you could put, like I did it with pizza yesterday.
You put a pizza in the air fryer?
I put I took 2 pieces of pizza, day old pizza, in the air fryer, 5 minutes, nice, crispy, crunchy, done. Done.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because normally I'll throw it in the oven, but it, at like 400, but it takes like 15 minutes to get to 400, another 10.
5 minutes. I mean,
right.
and each one is powered differently. Like they're not all the same. Claudia's saying in the chat room, I made chicken thighs yesterday, skin on, so crunchy and delicious. I've made salmon in mine. I've made fish in it. But I was going to go like, you have kids, and I'm sure that, chicken nuggets are probably high on the kids' preference list. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Kids,
one of the few things.
So like the Costco, the Costco Tyson panko breaded chicken nugget, you put those in for 5, let it heat up for 5 minutes, put those in 10 minutes later. I mean, they're coming out better than they ever would in an oven.
I know those little like appetizers from Trader Joe's you throw in there too. Because we eat those a lot.
It's ridiculous.
Like the samosas and like
so good.
Oh. All right. What's this going to set me back?
I mean, yesterday they had one on the Amazon Treasure truck, like a 6-quarter for $49.
No way.
Bro, they're ubiquitous. They're everywhere.
Can I go to Target like right now?
I mean, you probably could. Hold on. Let me.
I mean, not right now.
I just want to see what they have. Like right now, there's a $99 Power XL 5-quart single basket air fryer. Normally $99.99. Super Bowl weekend $59.99. Or you could step up to the 7-quarter. I don't even know why you do that for double the money.
To get one more quart, you're doubling your money? That's dumb.
2 more quarts. No, normally it would be from $99 to $129, but this thing's
right.
There it is. $59.99.
And you just you put them on top of each other?
Yeah, and then like halfway through, you give them a good shake.
I'm so intrigued now. I know you've been telling me this for like years, but you know me. I'm stubborn.
Listen, I've got one. Not that I want to go on with this, for all eternity. But the other one, the other thing that I do is like that Ninja Foodie grill also has a grill plate in it. The one that I use, it actually, and the upgraded version has a temperature probe. So you can just set things in there, set it and forget it. I want this steak to be at a nice 125, nice rare. And that's what it'll take it to. And then it'll just stop cooking when it hits that number.
That's amazing.
So Tim, for those of us that are listening on the replays, is holding up. Is that a Pokemon card, Timmy?
It is a Pokemon card. Hold on. Here. Can you hear?
Hi, Tim. Can you hear me, buddy?
Can you hear Uncle Zilla?
Hi.
You want to put that in?
So do you want to tell our friends in the chat room about your Pokemon card?
Well, the first thing he would say is it's Dad's.
Oh, well, you want to put it up to the camera so that everybody can take a look?
Up there.
There you go, buddy.
It's a Pokemon.
That's a pretty.
It's called Galarian Obstagoon.
That's true. A Galarian Obstagoon.
I've never heard of a Galarian Obstagoon.
Yeah, I'm a nerd. I think we've established that.
That's okay. So are we.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd too. I'm in school.
That's all
Thanks,
right.
bud.
That's awesome that Timmy came and visited. Hey, Justin. So last night, since we're talking about food, last night I checked out a show on True TV. One of our friends has a television show that's basically dominates True TV.
True TV is the former home of Rehab, Party at the Hard Rock Hotel.
Starring.
So I was on True TV before our buddies were. Just throwing that out there.
Fair enough. So there's a brand new show last night. I'm probably butchering the name. I think it's called Fast Foodie. And so they take 3 celebrity chefs along with a celebrity guest. And the celebrity guest brings in a food that they absolutely love, like a fast food that they absolutely love. And the chefs have to create it 2 ways. One, which is they just need to recreate an elevated version of that exact same dish. And then they have to take the flavors and make something entirely different. So the celebrity guest yesterday was Joel McHale, noted comedian and television host. And his subject food, Portillo's hot dogs from Chicago.
There's a Portillo's here in Arizona.
Absolutely. So imagine seeing, 3 really, like these chefs have appeared on Top Chef and on Chopped and a lot of the big name television shows. And here they are making a Portillo's, the flavor profiles. First, they made their own hot dogs. And then they made dishes. Like one of the chefs made a hot dog ravioli. So like a traditional Chicago hot dog would have, the poppy seed bun, would have the Vienna hot dog. It would have the shiny green relish, like the vibrant neon green relish, pickle spear, tomato slices, ketchup and mustard.
Sport pepper, celery salt.
Yes.
No ketchup.
Fair enough.
No, so I'm not saying that because I think ketchup is gross on hot dog. A hot Chicago dog doesn't have ketchup on it.
Okay. I've only had, I think, one Chicago dog in my entire life. The reason why I'm bringing it up is one of the chefs took it and made a ravioli. Another made like a poppy seed gnocchi, and then the third took all of the seasoning spices and that you would normally find in a hot dog and dry brined a New York Wagyu steak.
Oh, wow.
So it's very interesting. I think next week is going to be even better. Like this was the first one, but next Thursday is the second episode. Comedian Bobby Lee is on there. And that guy's funny. A lunatic. He's a lunatic in and of himself. So if you get a chance, I thought that was, you appreciate a good chef show. I appreciate a good chef show. So
I absolutely do. I
wanted to share that with you in the chat room.
And it's funny because I had a business meeting today, and the guy who I was meeting was from Chicago, and we were talking, and he asked me if there was a good place here in Phoenix, in the Phoenix area, to get an Italian beef. So before I could say Portillo's, he said, "Besides Portillo's." So then we had a conversation, and I don't know of a place. But when I go to Chicago, which it's
wait, does the Falcos have it?
I don't know what the Falcos is.
Oh, bro.
I never heard of it. But when I go to Chicago, I go to Al's Beef. Al's is my favorite. Portillo's, I like to get a hot dog at Portillo's. And even as a New Yorker, I will admit that a Chicago hot dog is better than a New York hot dog.
But it's no Costco hot dog.
Never had one.
Costco hot dogs are my jam, bro.
And they're like $1, right?
$1.50.
Oh.
So in your area, the Falco's is like the Italian grocery store. I just sent you a link.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's there in Scottsdale.
They have Italian beef sandwiches?
I don't know if they do, but I know that they've got everything else that your half Italian heart would ever desire.
Well, I mean, I don't go up to Scottsdale very often, but next time I go, I'm going. It's like on the opposite side of the city that I'm on. It's so annoying to get up there.
Bro, sometimes you just need to, take a nice little road trip.
I mean, there is no time for little road trips here in Arizona. Everywhere you go is fucking 20 miles. It's the most annoying place on the planet. I've never put more miles on my car in my life than living here.
So they do have an Italian beef. Hot beef and juices, Italian beef. Thin sliced roast beef dipped in au jus, toasted roll, fried peppers and onions with cheese.
Mm.
They got a Reuben. They got a chicken cutlet, Italian sausage and peppers.
Look, Portillo's has great Italian beef sandwiches too. I just like Al's better. But if all I can get is, DeFalco's or Portillo's, I'd probably go to Portillo's first. Did I ever tell you about the one time? Well, I've been to Chicago a million times, but I hadn't been there in a while. And I wanted, I go to a city and I want to eat what the city is known for.
So you go to McDonald's.
But this one particular trip, I was with Chris and maybe Neil, like they were playing back to back in Studio Paris. Okay. So I was eating at like our friends' restaurants every night, and so I never got those Chicago foods that I wanted. So my last day, I think my flight was at like 5:00 or something like that. I woke up, I went and I had a deep dish pizza. Okay. Then I walked to Al's and got a beef.
Okay.
And then I walked and got a Chicago hot dog at Portillo's before getting on my plane. And I've never felt worse in my life.
And then you got on a plane and sat on it for 5 hours. Great.
Oh, yeah.
You make great decisions.
Well, you know me. I don't think Neil's showing up, so I'm not going to wait for him.
We don't have to. I think, listen, we'll live. Yeah. Sometimes, Neil's got shit to do.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on. This isn't like him. Samuel J just said, I didn't realize this was the Super Bowl of podcasts. I didn't know what to name the episode. I kind of forgot to name it until like 5 minutes before we went live. So I just came up with, something.
I'm the Tom Brady of podcasts, and Justin is the Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, because I'm much younger than you.
Yes, much, much younger and up and coming. I'm proven, tried and true.
Well, look, without Neil here, it's not even fun to do a Grinds My Gears because he's the only one that, argues with my complaining. Well, I will say, though, you know who I hate? Courtside Karen. That's who I hate this week. Okay. You know who I'm talking about, right?
I've heard this story. Irene's saying Neil never talks anyways.
That's true.
I mean, that's not an inaccurate statement. He's really he's our emotional support human.
Yeah. So this drunk, stupid white lady that was like yelling at LeBron James, like, I hate her. And the reason I hate her is, look, everyone's gotten drunk and, acted a little dumb, right? Or heckled somebody, whatever. But like, she issued like an official statement the next day, like she was somebody. Like, how ridiculous do you have to be? And part of her statement, and I'm paraphrasing here, it was like, oh, it got a little out of hand, but hey, it's sports. Who doesn't like a little trash talking? And it's like, not from you, you dummy. Maybe between the players, not from you, you idiot.
This ain't the WWE. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, she's from San Diego. You know that?
No, but
we want her out. We have friends. No, she doesn't live there now. But I think she went to SDSU. We have friends that are friends with her.
Really? Now I have to look her up.
Yes.
Pardon me.
Yeah, but okay, so that was my Grinds My Gears. I wasn't going to do a Grinds My Gears. That was a Grinds My Gears. I hate her. And people that are at the game and like screaming at people like they're trying to be the center of attention, like you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't understand why people do that. Opinion. Like, no, you know what? I agree with you wholeheartedly. Like, if this is how you're going to pursue your 15 minutes of fame, you're an idiot. Like, this is what you want to be known for? You want to be known for the person that was a total asshole to one of the greatest athletes of our generation? This is how you're making your mark? You're an influencer?
Yeah.
Shut up.
And the funny thing is, like, when there's 20,000 people in an arena, you might not hear it. It's easy to ignore. But there's only like 2,000 people at the game.
Yeah.
So
Irene's saying her name is Juliana Carlos. You know what?
That is correct.
I'm going to tell you something. This has been one of my lifelong rules, and I don't care. I may not say it, but I don't trust nobody with 2 first names. Anybody with 2 first names, I'll be nice to them, but I can't be friends with them. And Juliana Carlos, right there on that list.
Wow. It's a bold statement, Zilla.
People with 2 first names are oftentimes a little. I'm just telling you. Hey, Justin, do you know what? I'm sorry. Did we beat this subject to death? F her.
We beat every subject to death, but I could always go for a little more.
So have we talked about the fact that it is Girl Scout cookie season?
We have not, but I did order some for my niece. They came last week, and then I opened up. We did talk about it because we talked about the different types of s'mores. There's 2 different types. So I got the one that's like a cookie and some shit in the middle and a cookie. I don't know.
Okay.
So I thought they were delicious. I put them on my counter. Jocko, my 80-pound dog, got on the counter and ate all the s'mores after like the first couple I had.
I'm guessing those aren't good for dogs.
No, they're not.
Okay.
I think he was shitting all over the house the next day. Yeah, but
you showed him.
Yeah. So I still have some Dozy-Dos and trefoils in my kitchen right now.
So I think we talked about the fact that there are 2 different bakeries that service different troops.
Yes.
And so where the bakery that I got mine from doesn't call them Dozy-Dos.
What?
They call them peanut butter sandwiches.
That's bootleg.
And then these, like, there's, I think the citrus flavor from one bakery is called like the Lemon Up. Say hello to the lemonades, which I'm going to tell you, this one
there's not weed in that.
Huh? Yeah, there's definitely not weed in that. I'm going to tell you that this one is infinitely superior to the other one.
Really?
And then the trefoils are from this bakery are just called shortbread cookies.
That's bootleg, man.
And the Samoas are called Caramel Delights. Yeah.
I'm not okay with this.
Let's see. Samuel J says the place I work at deals with one of the Girl Scout cookie bakers. We've been trying to get them to send us Girl Scout cookies as payment. It hasn't been working. Honestly, if I could get paid in Girl Scout cookies, I'd do it. I don't know what my, Girl Scout cookies are delicious.
They really are.
But it's kind of different to not have like the Girl Scout troops posted out. I don't know about in different parts of the country, but like Girl Scout troops aren't posted up in front of like your local supermarket or, convenience stores anymore. They're just.
I would guess the National Girl Scout Association, whatever the fuck they're called, probably said not this year.
Right. Welcome to the chat room, my sister, Jen Hannah. Hi, Hannah girl.
Hello, Jennifer.
Jen saying too much sugar. It is what it is.
Claudia, if you would like to get some, I will send you a link to my niece's order, whatever the fuck, however you do that. I don't even know.
Might as well drop ship them.
Actually, no. Screw her. I think not. You know what I mean. Not. I saw.
No, but
I saw a friend of mine on Facebook put something up that if you don't have a troop that you're actually going to buy them from this one group, and it's like homeless kids in New York, right?
Yeah, it is. I think it's Troop 6000, and Troop 6000 is made up of, obviously Girl Scout aged girls that don't have homes. And I think the money goes to pay for their scouting programs, going on camping trips and things that their families otherwise couldn't afford. So,
and I'm sorry to my niece Harper. I have to apologize. That was not very nice.
No, I mean, we know it was all in jest, and
I mean, hopefully she's not watching this because that would not be good.
Honestly, hopefully she's not watching it because that would be horrible parenting on her. Like, Jordan, what are you doing? Like, I mean, listen, Timmy, we're cool if Tim comes on, but Uncle Zilla dials down the F-bombs the minute Tim creeps into the screen, and I know he can't hear me. So yeah, Troop 6000. Justin will put the link in the chat room.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I meant to say, Jenna, if you wouldn't mind putting finding a link.
No, I got you. I got you. I can do this. I can do this. I got it. Boom.
See, Jilly's on my team. The chocolate covered s'more squares over the sandwich s'mores all day. I agree. And Irene and Justin both posted the link. Girl Scouts New York City.org.
Beat me to
Troop
it.
6000. Good job. Jen is asking, where is Neil? He just said that he was going to be late, and an hour and 15 minutes into the show, he is yet to arrive. Maybe he's been backstage this entire time, and Justin just hasn't noticed.
You can't do that, Irene. You can't do that. You might have beat me to the chat, but you can't put a banner up there like I did.
I guess the reason why I bring it up again is if you guys are so inclined, and it's not like I'm not vice president of supporting the Girl Scouts of America, but they are a noble organization. And I figure like this, their sales have to be in the tank this year because of COVID, right? Like last year, COVID hit in the middle of their cookie drive. And now at the, COVID's still around this year. And there's only a certain amount of years a kid's old enough to be in the Girl Scouts or the Boy Scouts. So if you have the opportunity to, support these kids that otherwise, wouldn't get the support, buy a box or two. They drop ship to your house now. It's nice.
We should have made a plan. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered because he didn't show up anyway. But we should have made a plan that if Neil showed up, like the second that he showed up, we just sign off and call it a day.
Right. Thank you.
But he showed us because he isn't even showing up.
No, but I mean, we have some theories in the chat room as to why people think Neil isn't here. Samuel J says Neil has turned into a rock star, showing up late and everything. Jay-Chan has said the BRL money has gone to his head. Claudia saying we are mattering less and less to Neil.
He's the new Howard Schultz.
Jen is saying, I think you should change the name of the podcast to The Old Guy in the Club and Everyone's Little Sister and make me permanent. It's always about you, Jen. Listen, Neil's entitled to a night off. That guy is a streaming machine.
He is. And it's nice that we get a break from him.
Yeah, for real. No, you, not me. I enjoy Neil's company.
I don't even talk to him during the week anymore. It's very rare that we talk now because we have nothing to really.
You guys are
look, we have no business.
Like an old married couple. Yeah.
And we're both very busy, so we don't really talk. So this is like the only time I get to catch up with him. But I did speak to him earlier this week. So he was probably like, I spoke to Zotz earlier this week. I don't need to come on this stupid show.
There it is.
All right. Well, I've had enough. What about you, Zilla? Anything grinding your gears that you have to get off your chest?
Not really. No.
Okay.
It's been a pretty decent week. I've come to the realization that I am the world's worst Call of Duty player. Like, America should be grateful that I never enlisted. Because I am the worst soldier in the history of bad soldiers. I've been playing Call of Duty pretty frequently this week. But you know who's good? And here's a stream. If you guys are into the whole watching people play video games and having fun, I actually stumbled upon Chris Masterson and Alana. They were playing Call of Duty on a Twitch stream together.
Yeah, I heard that they were doing that. I was going to tune in, but it was too late.
And it was a lot of fun. So
really,
if you guys are looking for something, just look for. I think the title is Chris and Alana. They are siblings that play Call of Duty together, and it is a whole lot of fun.
Is it like Alana's channel or Chris's?
I don't. You know what? I don't recall. I can't even remember. It popped up. I opened up Twitch on my phone, and I'm like, is that Chris? And I popped in. I'm like, hey, you guys, greetings from San Diego. But I was also driving, so I didn't want to crash my car in the process. So that was fun.
If I could find it. It's not her
And
channel.
I got to tell you one other thing. My sister in the chat room just said, Rob, we have panda. Not an actual panda. But for the first time ever, my parents are having Panda Express. They've never had Panda Express in their lives, but my parents' church parish is having a fundraiser tonight where the proceeds from the purchases are going from Panda Express are going to their parish. So for the first time in their lives ever, they're having Panda Express. I cannot wait to see their reactions to this.
I'm sorry. They actually have a channel. I know this is ridiculous. I have to look into this. I'm going to find out, and we'll raid them one night.
Fair enough. Speaking of raids, we should probably find somebody else to raid. And in the meantime, hey guys, thanks for coming and being a part of the Old Guy in the Club podcast live every Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. You guys, as I say each and every time, and I say it because I mean it, you are the best part of the show. Justin and I are just here, talking shit, and you guys coming in and contributing and being a part of the show means all the difference to us. So thank you so much for being here each and every Friday. If you missed any part of the show, don't hesitate to give us a listen again wherever you find your podcasts. The show posts every Monday. And before we go, from all of us to our modest Jenna, happy birthday weekend.
Happy birthday.
No matter who you're cheering for this Super Bowl weekend, I hope that your team wins. That goes for everybody. I hope that your weekend is filled with adult beverages and lots of delicious Super Bowl snacks. Justin, you got anything else?
No.
All right. Well, then I guess we will see you guys next week, Friday, 5 p.m.
You do it so well. There's nothing I could do to add anything to that. Jenna, it's your birthday. We can raid whoever you want. Who do you want to raid, Jenna?
You get to pick. You are the official raider. I forget that there's a delay on this, so I'll say, "Oh, you're the official raider," and then there'd be like a little pause.
Yes. DJ Tactics. Okay. Let me.
Was that just a funny way to spell tactics?
Hold on a second. Raid. DJ Tactics. Is there a K and an X in there?
Sure is. DJ TAKTIX.
Okay. I'm hitting the button.
All right. You guys enjoy DJ Tic Tacs.
There's hit the button. And now we're going to say goodbye.
See you next week.
Bye, guys.